Silence after leaving often speaks louder than all the words we could ever use. When we walk away from a fight, an insult, or an unfair situation, our silence becomes a statement. It says, "I do not need to prove my worth here." It says, "I choose peace over chaos." Silence carries a weight that arguments cannot. It reflects self-control, clarity, and dignity. The teachings remind us that words can bind us to cycles of anger, but silence breaks those chains. When we choose silence, we stop feeding the noise. We give space for reflection, not only for ourselves but also for others. Our silence may echo louder than shouting ever could. It reminds people that peace cannot be disturbed by provocation. Walking away in silence does not mean cowardice. It means mastery of self. It shows that you value your calm more than the need to explain or defend endlessly. Silence holds power because it cannot be twisted, cannot be argued with, and cannot be defeated. It is unshakable. People may try to pull you back into conflict, but your silence will stand like a wall they cannot climb. The quiet presence of someone who has walked away lingers. It reminds everyone that true dignity does not need noise. Silence is not emptiness. It is fullness. It is the fullness of wisdom, the fullness of control, the fullness of strength. To leave in silence is to let your actions speak in ways words never could. It is to teach without teaching, to show without boasting, to prove without arguing. In the end, silence after walking away becomes a mirror. It reflects the emptiness of the conflict and the depth of your own strength. It is the loudest voice of peace. Cycles of control often continue because we stay within them. Whether in relationships, workplaces, or social circles, patterns of manipulation thrive on our participation. Walking away is the act that ends these cycles. Control feeds on presence, on attention, on response. When we refuse to remain, the cycle loses its power. The teachings remind us that suffering continues as long as we cling to what causes it. Letting go ends suffering. Walking away is letting go of chains that others try to bind us with. Control only works when we accept it. The moment we step away, its grip dissolves. Many stay out of fear, believing leaving will cause loss. Yet, the real loss is staying and letting yourself shrink. Walking away is reclaiming strength. It is saying, "I will not be part of this game anymore." The one who leaves the cycle frees themselves and also weakens the chain for others. Control thrives in silence and fear, but it dies in courage. To walk away is an act of courage that restores power. You no longer give energy to what drains you. You no longer allow another to dictate your path. Walking away is not abandoning responsibility. It is abandoning control disguised as care. It is freeing yourself from invisible strings. Life becomes lighter when you no longer dance to someone else's tune. Walking away shows that peace is more valuable than control, and freedom is worth more than approval. When you end cycles of control, you not only free yourself but also show others that freedom is possible. Walking away becomes a lesson, a light, and a declaration. I choose my own path. I refuse to be bound by chains I did not choose. That is real power. Strength is often mistaken for endurance alone. We admire those who endure pain, hardship, and mistreatment without complaint. But real strength is not only in what you endure, it is in what you refuse. Walking away shows the courage to say no. It shows the wisdom to reject what dishonors your soul. The teachings remind us that life is not about holding everything. It is about knowing what to release. Refusal is not weakness. It is clarity. To refuse what drains your spirit is to protect your energy for what uplifts it. Many people confuse strength with staying. They think leaving means defeat. Yet the one who walks away often carries the greater strength because they have chosen dignity over approval, peace over noise, and freedom over fear. It is easy to stay because of habit. It is harder to leave because of courage. Refusal teaches us boundaries. It teaches us that not everything deserves our time, our love, or our presence. When we refuse, we are not shutting the door on life. We are shutting the door on harm. Walking away is that act of refusal. It is a quiet shield that guards the heart. It proves we are not desperate for acceptance at any cost. It shows we understand our worth deeply enough to walk away from anything that denies it. Strength is not seen in clinging. It is seen in letting go. Refusal may feel lonely, but it creates space for true connection. It may feel uncertain, but it builds unshakable faith. Walking away proves to the self that courage is not about fighting every battle, but about refusing the wrong ones. That is the kind of strength that transforms a life. Peace is not found in chaos. It is found in space. Walking away creates that space. It clears the noise, the conflict, the clutter, and gives the heart room to breathe again. When we stay in situations that suffocate us, peace becomes distant. The teachings remind us that the mind is like a lake. When stirred, it becomes muddy and unclear. When left still, it reflects the sky. Walking away is stepping back so the waters of the mind can settle. It is creating silence where noise once ruled. This space allows healing. It allows perspective. It allows the rediscovery of balance. Peace cannot grow where there is constant pressure. It needs room. It needs air. It needs quiet. Walking away creates that environment. It is not escape. It is protection. It protects the inner sanctuary from endless disturbance. Many fear the emptiness that walking away creates. But this emptiness is not a loss. It is an opening. It is a door for peace to enter. When we carry chaos with us, we block the possibility of peace. When we leave, we invite peace in. Walking away is the moment we choose to stop pouring energy into what disturbs us. That choice itself brings calm. It may not be immediate, but it is certain. Peace grows slowly, like a seed planted in the soil of silence. With time, it becomes strong enough to sustain us through storms. Walking away is the first step toward this growth. It shows we value peace over noise, clarity over confusion, and freedom over conflict. When we create space for peace, we rediscover ourselves. We find that joy was never gone. It was only waiting for quiet to be heard again. True power is often thought to be shown in fighting, in winning, in defeating others. But real power lies in the choice not to fight at all. To walk away from a battle is to prove mastery of the self. It is to show that peace is more valuable than victory. The teachings remind us that anger feeds itself. The more we fight, the more it grows. But when we walk away, anger loses its fuel. Choosing not to fight is not surrender. It is wisdom. It is knowing that not all battles deserve our spirit. Many fights are traps. They drain energy and leave emptiness. To refuse them is to keep your strength. Walking away shows you are not controlled by pride, ego, or the need to dominate. You rise above the conflict and step into freedom. Power is not in defeating another, but in defeating the urge to fight. It is the quiet mastery of choosing peace when provoked. The world may see this as weakness, but it is the highest strength. Anyone can fight when provoked. Few can remain calm and walk away. This calmness transforms the heart. It protects the mind. It teaches others that peace is not passive. It is powerful. To choose not to fight is to break the cycle of harm. It is to end battles before they wound deeper. Walking away in this way is not an escape. It is a declaration. I will not let anger rule me. I will not let conflict consume me. I choose peace. And in that choice, you discover the truest power a person can hold. Energy is the essence of life. Where we place it shapes our world. Walking away is the redirection of energy. Instead of pouring strength into conflict, arguments, or toxic ties, we turn that energy toward growth. The teachings remind us that whatever we water grows. If we water anger, it expands. If we water wisdom, it blossoms. Walking away is choosing where to water. It is refusing to invest in what drains us. When we walk away, we suddenly find energy freed. That energy can then be used to build, to heal, to create, to love. Growth requires space and energy. Conflict steals both. Walking away gives both back. It is not about rejecting life. It is about redirecting life. Imagine how much energy is lost in proving points, defending pride, or fighting endless battles. That same energy, when redirected, could transform us. It could deepen wisdom, nurture relationships, strengthen health, or inspire creativity. Walking away makes this possible. It is not only an act of leaving, it is an act of turning. It is turning away from what stunts us and turning toward what grows us. The power of growth comes not from endless struggle, but from wise direction. Walking away is that wisdom. It is the moment we say, "My energy is precious, and I will use it where it matters." Growth then becomes natural, because the energy once wasted is now invested. Walking away opens the door to new paths, new opportunities, new strength. It is not the end of effort. It is the beginning of the right effort. By walking away, we choose to redirect our life force from destruction to creation. That is the power of growth. There are chains in life that no one can see. They are built from fear, guilt, attachment, and dependency. These invisible chains keep us tied to people, places, and patterns long after they stop serving us. Walking away is the act of breaking those chains. The teachings remind us that suffering often comes from clinging. We cling to the familiar even when it hurts. We cling because we fear the unknown. But letting go frees us. Walking away is letting go of what binds. It is breaking chains we cannot see but always feel. These chains whisper that we cannot live without approval, without a certain person, without a certain role. But they lie. Life is larger than these illusions. Walking away proves that truth. It shows that freedom is possible, even from what feels impossible. Invisible chains lose power the moment we step beyond them. We realize we were always free. We simply believed we were trapped. Walking away is that realization in action. It is saying, "I no longer accept these limits. I choose freedom." This freedom is not cold, it is warm. It fills the heart with courage and the mind with clarity. The chains fall and the spirit rises. Walking away may be painful at first. The chains resist. But once they break, the lightness that follows is unmeasurable. We discover life beyond fear, beyond dependency, beyond illusion. Walking away is not abandonment. It is liberation. It is the choice to step into freedom and leave behind what held us bound. That freedom is the beginning of a new life. The ego always wants to win, to prove, to shine, to be seen as right. It clings to battles, to recognition, to validation. But mastery over the ego is the highest form of strength. Walking away shows this mastery. It is the refusal to let ego rule. When we walk away, we are saying, "My peace is more important than my pride." The teachings remind us that the ego is never satisfied. It always demands more. To feed it is to remain restless. To master it is to find peace. Walking away is one of the clearest ways to show mastery. The ego wants to argue. You choose silence. The ego wants to prove. You choose peace. The ego wants to cling. You choose release. In this way, every step away from conflict is a step toward freedom. Mastery over ego is not about crushing it, but about guiding it. It is choosing humility over pride, clarity over noise, wisdom over craving. Walking away makes this choice visible. It is a quiet proof that you no longer live as a servant of ego. You live as a master of self. People may misunderstand, thinking you lost by leaving. But in truth, you won the greater victory. You defeated the ego, which is the hardest opponent of all. Walking away in this spirit is not weakness. It is wisdom lived. It shows that you have seen through the illusions of pride. It shows that you value peace more than being seen as right. That is the deepest mastery, the kind that no one can take away. To walk away is to rise above the ego and step fully into freedom.